Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm gonna show you how to transfer data from one ODOO database to another ODOO database. So the first thing you need to do in this tutorial is you need to create two databases. The first one is the source database and the second one is the target database. So I'm gonna demonstrate it to you. First, I'm gonna make the source database, the database that have the data that you want to transfer to the target database. So it's gonna name this one source. Okay, email is source blah blah.com, whatever you want. Then country. Okay, now in the source database I'm gonna load the demonstration data so that the database will have the sample to be transferred to sample data to be transferred to. So I'm gonna continue and make the database. So we are just gonna wait until the creation of database is complete. Okay, now that it is already created, we need to install at least one modules. I'm gonna go ahead and install sales module to demonstrate how to do the data transfer. So you can basically install whatever modules you want, whatever modules that the data you want to transfer. In this case, I wanna transfer the customer data from the sales module. Okay, we have installed the sales module in the first source database. I'm gonna log out and I'm going to make another database that have no sample data. So this is our first created database, the source. Then I'm gonna create another one, name target, emails blah blah blah. And then country, you can fill this with whatever you want. Now this one you don't need to check this option because you want the second database. I want the second database to be empty so we can see the changes clearly. So I'm gonna create database, continue on this one with the name target. Now we wait. Alright, now we have created the second database, the target database, and we're gonna install the same module, the sales module, in this one, and then we are going to wait again. Okay, now we have installed the sales module in the target database, and now as we can see here in the customer tab, there is no data. It's an empty database. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to use Talend and use this as the middleware to transfer the data from the source database to the target database. First thing we need to do is to create a DB connections, and you right click and create connection. Now you can name this one source. Next, DB type Postgre, because ODOO uses PostgreSQL version 9.5. The detailed version you can check out the detailed version of my ODOO and my Talend in the description. The login data, the login and password data, you can, if you're not sure about these columns, you can check this from the installation directory of the ODOO. So you go to program files and you go to ODOO and you type in the search bar odoo.conf, this one. Just right click and edit with anything you want. You can edit with Notepad or Notepad++, which I use. Now you can see there are DB user column row and the DB password row. The DB user you use in the login column, then the password is in DB password row. Just put whatever in there in this. This is guaranteed to be correct if you're not sure about your login or password input for the database. And the server is localhost. Database is, as we named it earlier, source. Schema is public. This is the schema for the database. I'm gonna check and the connection is successful, and now we're gonna finish it. So we have the source database connected. Now we're going to make another connection to the target database. We're gonna name it target. The DB type same as before, PostgreSQL version 9.5. Login same, server localhost, database target. Schema is public also. I'm gonna check it, it's successful. We're gonna go and finish. Okay, now we have already connected two databases to our Talend. Now we have to retrieve the schema of these databases. So we're gonna retrieve the schema of the source database first. We're gonna go and you go right click and choose retrieve schema, then go next. Now because I want to transfer the customer data, so the customer data can be found in the res underscore partner. In this you can just filter it, and this is the customer data. So note that the column number is 56. I'm gonna go press next, okay, just finish. So now the schema is already loaded. Then to the target schema, the same thing. We're gonna find the customer data in the res partner table with the same column number, because we installed the same modules, which is the sales module. We're gonna go on and press next and finish. Okay, now that both schemas has already loaded, now we need to make a new job. Create job. Name of the job is transfer data. Finish, and the job window is gonna show up in here. Okay, now what we have to do next is just drag the res partner from the source to the window of the job and make it as a PostgreSQL input. Okay, now we gonna drag the target table as the output, the PostgreSQL output. Okay, now that both input and output is already in the job, next thing we need to do is to find tmap. Tmap is used to map data from input to output. Okay, now we're gonna click the input table, and then we're gonna drag the line to tmap, and I'm gonna click tmap and drag the line into the output. I'm gonna get target schema, yes. Okay, now what you need to do is just set double click on the target output, then look at the properties. Okay, action data insert or update, just in case there is a same ID in the primary key, so it's gonna update the data instead of inserting it multiple times. And then we're gonna edit schema to check. Okay, it's it's already synchronized, I think. If you're not sure, you can just click copy all of the columns, then press OK. This ensures that both output and input tables are the same. And now you click synchronize columns. Okay, the last step is you double click on the T-map, and this is the input row and this is the output row. You press auto map at the top right hand corner, and it's gonna automatically assign each column with the same name. Okay, now the thing that you need to pay attention to is the foreign keys. The documentation of the foreign keys of ODOO tables is available on the internet, but for this tutorial you need to delete the connection of the foreign keys, because foreign key tables cannot be transferred. I mean, the foreign key relationship cannot be transferred, so you need to remove it first before you transferring it. If you insist on keep transferring the foreign key, it's gonna result in an error when you try to run the job. So the easiest way to note the foreign keys are the ID extension. So if you see an ID at the back of the row name, it's probably a foreign key. So for example, this country ID, this is definitely a foreign key, and this cannot be transferred because we don't have the data from the country table. And the parent ID is also a foreign key. Basically everything with an ID written on the back of the row name. Okay, user ID, state ID, commercial partner ID, just basically delete all of this so we can have an easier understanding of what data we are going to transfer. Okay, after we clear all the foreign keys out, we're gonna press apply and OK. Okay, that's basically all of it. Now we just need to run the job. If we do everything correctly, there should be no errors, but we are ready for everything. We're ready for errors. Now we just need to wait until the job is finished building it. Okay, it's successful. So as you can see, it's already successful, and you can check directly into the ODOO. So this is empty now, but if I refresh it, there should be new data transferred from the source. See, like this. So the data is successfully transferred, but like the pictures, the address, basically everything that contains data from a foreign table, it's not included because we need to load the foreign key table first before we load that data. So because we only load one table, which is the res partner table, so we can only have the data exclusively for this table. Okay, that's basically it for the tutorial on how to transfer data from one ODOO database to another database. Your advice and criticism is highly appreciated. Thank you very much, and see you next time.